Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Cecilia here. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe as we go on a cruise around the canal here in Amsterdam.
I'll go in front of you and
I'm gonna take you.
We are ready to go. A few interesting facts about these canals. There are 165 of them in the city with over 100 bridges, and they are 50 kilometers long. So once upon a time, Amsterdam used to be a big swamp. So the rulers of the 16th to the 17th century were some very wealthy residents, and they decided to invest their money to transform the swamp into a city. So what they did was they put up plans to construct these canals so that they could manage the water and still have some space to do some construction. So it looked like some small islands on the water after they had constructed these canals. And then afterwards is when they started the construction of the houses we see now alongside the canals. So the initial purposes of these canals were water management, of course, because they needed to make it as livable as we know it today. Also, the military used it as a defense base, and as you can imagine, also for transportation purposes, because they needed to bring the construction materials to build the houses you see alongside the canals. And as we know, at the Amsterdam port, a lot of big ships used to dock there and trade in spices and other goods. So they needed to bring all those goods inside the city, and the only way they could do that is using these canals. So now in our day, we are very lucky to have other forms of transport. So they are used for recreation, tourism, and for houseboats. During the hippie days, young people tried to come to Amsterdam and settle down here, but there was a big housing problem, and those that could find houses, they couldn't afford them. They were really expensive, and the government decided to solve this problem by allowing them to live in houseboats. So there are 2,500 houseboats in Amsterdam as I'm speaking, which is August 2019. Like normal apartments, they are registered. You see them on my left. All of these are houseboats. So if you're thinking of getting yourself a houseboat, you need around 280k. The canals are 2 to 3 meters deep, and the locals joke that 1 meter is mud, 1 meter water, and 1 meter is full of bikes. I find it funny, especially because they say that they fish 12 to 15,000 bikes out of the canals per year. I do not know how so many bikes end up in their canals. You know, Amsterdam is a bicycle land. A lot of people go around on bicycles, but they fish too many bicycles out of these canals per year. So they have managed to make these canals as clean as possible. They have a lot of methods. They open up gates, canal gates, 3 times a week just to refresh the water and make it as clean as possible. So the houseboat on the left is called Inspiration Boat. It belongs to an artist, and he uses it as an office and a place for inspiration. I think it's a really great idea. It is really well constructed. You can see it from the outside that he has put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into it. The locals call it the Kim Kardashian boat. I wouldn't know why. Or the What Did You Smoke boat. It has a lot of names, but it looks really, really great. Since it was a swamp, when they started constructing houses, the ground was very, very soft. It was muddy. So what they did was they used wooden poles as a foundation for all the houses. So during this cruise, you will notice some houses leaning sideways or forward, and it is because their foundation is of wood, and with time the wood becomes softer, or it gains some weak points as time goes. So the houses seem to be dancing, and that's why there are houses that are called dancing houses. I'll show you in a minute. And they lean sideways or forward. They're still stable, but they are kind of having a weak point in their foundation.
Amsterdam, and they destroyed half of it. They had to think of a solution, and they built a dam in the river, and that's now at the Damrak, in the Dam Square. And this was really necessary, but it's short.
It's beautiful here.
Dam in the Amsterdam.
This is the best way when the sun is going down to just take a cruise around the canal. This building on my right looks really good to a tourist's eye like myself, but the locals have a lot of bad nicknames for it, mainly because for it to be constructed, they destroyed 150 old houses that used to be here, and therefore displacing a lot of residents from this part of the city to outside the city or other parts of the city. And of course they did not like that, so it made a lot of people unhappy. Notice the dancing houses now? It's all because of the weak points on their wooden foundation on the ground. Just in case you're curious or you're looking to buy a house in Amsterdam, they are going for 1.2 to 2.5 million euros per house, of course depending on the size and the location of the house. In the beginning there used to be rich merchants living here, but right now they're being used for businesses or for exclusive residential apartments. This is the best example of the businesses that have developed alongside these canals. You see where the guy is standing outside? That is the main entrance to the famous Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Amsterdam. And what they did was they bought this house first, and then they watched out for all the houses on sale on this row, and they kept buying them with time. So as we speak now, all the houses on this row, or almost all of them, are the same hotel. If you'd like to cruise here with your own boat, all you will need is a license for it and a speed limit of 7.5 kilometers per hour. Swimming is not allowed in these canals, mainly because they're trying to keep it as clean as possible, and they have had a lot of years trying to really clean it and open up canal gates and refresh it and bike fishing. And if they would allow people to swim, it would pollute the canals even more, so they are discouraging people from doing it. Once a year there's an event called Amsterdam City Swim, where they allow people to swim, and all the profits made on that day go to charity or for medical research, especially for ALS. Yeah, so if you want to swim on these canals, wait for that event. Or they also say there are other parts of the city where you are allowed to swim. In winter, if the temperature stays sub-zero for at least 1 week, the water freezes and you can walk or skate on the canals. So forget history for a minute. There are a lot of romantic spots here. There is a lot to do on a date in Amsterdam. They have candlelight dinner cruises on these canals. They have a smoke as you sail. Yeah, that's a thing in Amsterdam. They also have bars as a boat. That means you can just sail with your friends around while having tequila shots. Why not? For any budget you can think of, they have something you can do in Amsterdam. It's a really fun place to be. I love the history here, but I also love the fun times you can have in Amsterdam. If you haven't been, please go to Amsterdam. Come to Amsterdam and just enjoy this place. You have to see it at least once. Yeah, so guys, I hope I did not talk too much on this video. If I did, let me know in the comment section below. There is a lot to share. The love I have for this city, I had to just talk and tell you what I think about it. So let me know what you think about it, guys, and subscribe. So guys, that was the Canal cruise. I hope you liked it. Yeah, so it's still early. I think it is 6:30 p.m. So let's find something else to do. Thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video.